Okay, it's this month's Q&A, which is November Q&A, questions and answers that I've been doing for quite a while now. Seems to be very popular with people. I'm just going to feed my dog, because if I don't feed the dog, she's going to get annoying. Bonnie, come on. Oh no, she's going to do it down there. Yeah, I'm out today exploring with Bonnie. So, let's get on with the Q&A. Now, if it's your first time visiting my Q&A, just to give you a little bit of information about myself. My name's Sean. I've been living out in Spain, nearly coming up to 4 years now. Now, I'm only telling you my experiences. I'm not telling you what you got to do and this and that, because that's not me. If I haven't done it myself, then I can't really tell you much about those sort of things. So if it's anything to do with buying property or you need some legal advice, then you've got to seek legal advice. Don't take my word for that. That's one thing you've got to make clear, guys, especially out here in Spain. You've got to be so careful when you're buying property. Make sure you do everything to the book, and then you shouldn't get any problems. If you start listening to people in pubs and whatever else, and oh, I know, mate, we can do it cheap, don't go down that road. I've met so many people out here that have done that and wish they'd never done that now. So just be aware of that. Okay, whereabouts am I? Because that also affects where you are in Spain. Spain's a vast country, it's a huge country. And where you live in Spain is going to be totally different. So I live in the southeast of Spain, the Costa Collada, the Murcia region. I live on a place called Camposol. Huge urbanisation, split into 4 sectors. It's 5 square miles of villas, over 5,000 villas. I love it there. What I love about Camposol, it's my base. I go out exploring. Today I'm up at the guns. So let's get on with the Q&A for this month. Now, I've done this just before the Brexit. I'm probably going to add a bit extra after that, because from what I can see so far, it looks like they're going to extend it. The ongoing. So anyway, first one is by Frank. Frank's one of my top supporters. He supports both my channels. He's a VFR800F11. I1, but I know him as Frank. Frank asked me, how does buying on Amazon work in Spain? To be quite honest, Frank, it's exactly the same as if you was back in the UK. I still use my UK Amazon. Sometimes, I mean, what I like about Amazon, you can use Amazon Spain or Amazon America, because you're ties to all that. I keep everything in my sterling when I'm buying stuff. Okay. And I believe here as well, it's pretty quick. You can do I don't do Prime, but I know people that do Prime. They order it and it's there the next day. So yeah, Amazon's no different now to what the UK is. Maybe you can't. I think in the UK now you can do the same day. I don't know if that happens here. Maybe in places like Barcelona and Madrid you can, but where we are in the southeast, that ain't happening yet. But I know in a couple of years' time, things are progressing quicker in Spain, and that would be the same if you was buying for eBay. I don't use eBay, but I know some people use that. Yeah, so the online things is pretty good here in Spain. Sometimes some of the delivery companies that we got here are not always. What I'm on about is the tracking. I think it's SUR, sir. They don't really do on the minute, but they do send you an email the day they're going to come out, and it's a bit hit and miss of that, but I've had no problems so far. Or did I? no, I can't remember having any problems offhand. So Frank, don't worry about the Amazon. Are there any English speaking schools close to Camposol? If there are they private schools? Good question that. I believe there's not, but I know where Jackie lives. Jackie lives on a golf resort called La Tour, and they've got attached to them King's College, which is obviously an English school, English speaking school, private school obviously. Yeah, from what I know, because I haven't got kids, so I can't really give you a top gen on that, but from what I do know, we've got quite a few kids on Camposol. I see them getting the bus in the morning. There's 2 sort of times for the kids in the morning. It's quite an early, about 12:30 7, I think, ones, and the other ones at half 8. They go to the Spanish school, and from what I believe, they don't actually teach them English. If they can't speak Spanish, they don't get any help. It's up to the parents to get private tuition. There's plenty of people about that do that, and I know some of the kids have been put back a year because obviously they can't cope with it, or maybe they're teenagers. And obviously, the older you get, I believe, I know that, it's harder to pick up the language. So there's no English schools as I know of. It'd be interesting if anybody else can say on that. But I think the nearest English school that I know is in Murcia. Yeah, it's private. You would have to pay for that. So it's something else to think about, especially if you think you got kids and you're coming out to live in Spain. I personally wouldn't come out to Spain if you ain't got a job. Don't expect to come out to Spain and find a job. You need to have a job before you come out. But I know some people have done that already. But yeah, no English-speaking schools near Camposol, Frank. Right, next question is by Brian Wallington. I think I got that right, Brian. What percentage of properties are rental? Are there many near the shops? Okay, so he's obviously on about Camposol. Now I did ask, because I don't know, because there's about 5,000 villas on Camposol, and asking in one of the estate agents, they said probably about a quarter, which sounds about right. From what I can see around me, there's a lot of people that's got summer villas, well, holiday villas. They come out every 3 or 4 times a year, have a bit of a break, and then obviously some of those actually rent them out. People rent out villas for a short while to see what it's like. Some people quite like it. So yeah, it's about quarter. So we're probably talking what, 5,000? My maths was right. 2,000? I don't know. That sounds a bit too many to me, but it's a big complex. Some people enjoy doing that. I wouldn't like that myself, somebody using my house, but some other people have no problems with it. So, hope that's answered your question, that, Brian. We've got another one here. What are the opening times for the shops on Camposol, butchers, etc., and weekends? Well, most of the shops here. Hang on, I got to feed the dog because she's looking at me, and I know she'll start whinging. Lucky I ain't got too many questions today. I probably would have been on strike. But most of the shops open about 10 o'clock. Now, obviously, the bars do early breakfast in the morning, but the main shops open about 10. Now, on the Camposol, they stay open right through until about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then they shut then. Weekends, not many of them are open on weekends. The only things that will be open weekends, I presume it's Consume. I think that's open on a Saturday afternoon. It's a little bit different here in Spain, but I know, like, just going back to some of the bars and restaurants, they open probably about 8, 8:30, so you can have a breakfast. Some of them will go through to about 2 o'clock and shut for a bit, and then open up again about 4 o'clock, and then they would stay open to about midnight. I can't really give you names of shops and what times they are. But I would say the main thing is most of them open at 10 o'clock and they shut about 4 to 5. Now, if you went down into the town, it's going to be a lot different there. No, they probably open about 8 o'clock in the morning. For instance, our bank opens about 8:30 to 2 o'clock, and that's it. That's it. They're only open in the morning. And you find most of the places in town are very similar. They're sort of open at 8:30, shut about 2, and then reopen about 4 or 5 to about 8 or 9. The shopping centres are the same. On a Sunday, the only thing that I know it's open is the cinemas and the restaurants. Now, you get a big shopping complex that would be open on a Sunday, but the shops inside won't be open, only the bars, the restaurants, and obviously the cinema. Now, no doubt, in other parts of Spain, this is what I mean. It's difficult asking questions when you're talking about Spain as a whole. And I know you didn't ask that, Brian, but I know other people are probably listening in. Now maybe Barcelona and Malaga and Madrid, they might have shops open 24/7. I don't know. I haven't really visited those parts to shop. I don't like shopping. So I hope that's answered your question on that, Brian. And obviously anybody else that's listened to this that lives on Camposol, it can give times about, especially the consume thing. I live across the road to our local shop, so I just pop across there. It takes me about a minute to get my tea bags and milk and whatever. I don't really pop into the supermarket much, getting lazy. But yeah, anybody else can give some times on that. Now I know it's like you asked about the butchers. Now the butchers opens on a Tuesday to a Friday. No, they won't be open on... No, it might be wrong. I think they're open Saturday morning. So I can't say, you know, everything, but yeah, gives you an idea, Brian, doesn't it? So I've changed my location. We're in November now. I did the other two in October. I was hoping maybe Brexit might have changed things a bit, but as it hasn't, I've changed location. I've got question number 3 to get on with, and that's from Martin Rigby. Now he didn't put up any messages. Me and him have been chatting for a bit, so he asked me on this online. So what's the benefits of having a Mazarrón with a communal pool? Now what Martin's on about is on Camposol, most of the property, well most of the villas on Camposol were built by Mazarrón, but there were, I think there's 3 private developments. 2 of them are Mazarróns, and the other one I'm not really sure what they're called, but I know they're to do with the hotel and like golf apartments. But the Mazarróns, I think, also are sort of attached to the golf resort, but people are living in them. And this year, recently, a load more of them have been released by the bank now, so you can actually buy them. Nice properties. I haven't looked myself, but worth looking at. They're not that big, but on saying that, they're on C and D. Some are quite big, some have got basements, some haven't. But what Martin's getting at is, what's the benefit of it? Because it's got its own communal pool. Well, obviously you ain't got to worry about looking after the pool. Me and my wife Jan, we got our own pool. My wife cleans it. It's not cheap, you know, with the running costs, with the electric, the pump, the chemicals that we need to put in there. We have to keep keeping it clean as well, and that's all year through. We can't swim in it all year as well, don't forget that. I don't swim in it a lot, to be honest. Not like some people, but obviously during the summer months, I'm probably talking about sort of late May right through to probably September, you can use the pool if you're that brave. But the other times it's too cold. Now some people can heat the pools. Anyway, we're talking about the communal pool, so that's a benefit really, because you ain't got to worry about that maintenance. Now there is a community charge with that. Now that probably will differ which Mazarrón that you buy. I don't think it's to do with the price. I think it depends on how many people are living on that complex. Now I met another guy called Dave. Hopefully Dave's watching this. Now Dave lives on one of these, and he says he pays 55 a quarter, which ain't bad really, considering. I'm not too sure what that includes, other than we know it includes the lights that are around it, also obviously cleaning the pool and keeping it tidy. I'm not too sure about the road and things like that, because it is a private road. But I think Dave is going windy again. But Dave's said to me he thinks that's included. But anyway, so I can't really say, because obviously I don't live on one, so I can't say yeah, you know, it's great, and I can't say the other. That's something that you would have to look at yourself, Martin. It's a good option, especially what we was talking about that time. Yeah, so hopefully some other people will probably live on these estates. They can give you a little bit more information. Anyway, good question, Martin. Getting on to number 4, we got Nordcap I've got that right. What is the population demographics for Camposol and Mazarrón in terms of size and nationality? That is a hard question for me, because I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest, because all I know is Camposol has got about 5,000 villas. Obviously they're not all lived in. There's a lot of people that have them as holiday homes, or they rent them out. People come over and they go again. So I had to go on the internet at the end of the day, because I haven't got a clue really. But what I will say is, yeah, there is a mixed lot of people. We got Spanish, we got English, we got Belgium, we got Russian, we got Chinese, German, Swedish. Yeah, we got a huge mix of people living on these places, and that's not just obviously in Camposol, in Mazarrón as well. Anyway, what I could find on the internet was 2018 they did a survey. There was 31,550. Do it again. 31,562. And approximately out of that lot, 20,000 Spanish, 5,763 EU, and 5,597 up from other countries from outside the EU. So that gives you an idea. Obviously it's Spanish, so you would expect that. So there's a huge population of Spanish living here in the Mazarrón area. So hopefully that's answered your question. It's a bit hard really, because I wouldn't have a clue really. I don't talk to people about how many people live in here and live in there, but giving you some idea. So it is a mixed community, that's what I will say. It's not what some people class as an expat community. John Assenjo, I know I got that wrong, haven't I? But number 5, is Mazarrón nice enough to make your permanent residence? Given the beautiful places that you have shown us, would you consider somewhere else, return to England perhaps? Okay, well that's going to be a bit biased for me, isn't it? Because I'm going to say, of course it is. This is the place that you want to live. But like I've always said to everybody, I know you watch the videos and you do see these lovely places, and obviously we've got the sun today, and you can see that well, you can't see my trousers, but I've changed into my winter gear now. The temperature has dropped, but yeah, I love it because I'm outdoors, and this is what it's all about for me. It's the outdoors. I don't like it when I'm stuck indoors when it's a grotty day. Thankfully we don't get many of those here, and it's nice to be sat outside in mid-November. I haven't got my jumper on, but I do put a fleece on during the evenings and early mornings. So yes, I love it here, but like I always said to other people, you've got to come here and have a look yourself. And I don't mean come over on a weekend trip. You've got to come here, rent, probably stay a month or so to get used to it. You might not like it, you know, it's not for everybody, but it's worth having a look. That's what I would say. I mean, that's what I did, because I've been in Spain for 30 years or more, and I've been down the south, a lovely area, but I prefer this more. But anyway, good question that. Would I consider it somewhere else? Well, yeah, I can never say never. I think nobody can say that that's it, I'm staying here permanently. My mother, she'd come over to Spain back in the 70s. She's gone back to the UK now, living back in Dorset. She's in her late 80s now. You can never say never. I mean, I can't answer that question. I suppose one, it might all depend on my health, depending how decrepit I get. I mean, I'm hoping to stay here, yeah. I might move down nearer the coast. I think I would prefer to be nearer the sea, yeah. Obviously that's an expense, but at the moment I'm staying there. But I will never say no, I might go back to the UK. At the moment that ain't happening, but I can never say never. So hope that's answered the question. Now another one from John is number 6. would you give us a summary on what utilities cost, what a gallon of regular gas goes for? Okay, so I'm not going to answer all that, because I am actually bringing out a video very soon about costs, especially monthly costs, and also costs before you even come out of Spain. So I'm not going to answer that one just now, John, but thanks for that anyway. But I am bringing out 2 videos on costs, one before thinking about coming there and one while you're here. So, but what I will say is about the fuel, what I'm going to do before I put this video, I'll take a quick photograph and stick it here of the prices of diesel and petrol, give you an idea. At the moment, what I've done, I've gone on the internet, and unleaded is between 1.09 to 1.57, and diesel is as low as 92 cents, we're talking litres obviously, to 1.47. So that gives you some idea of the costs at the moment. You can shop around. I just use the one on Camposol. I just stick in €30. That seems to last me a week or so, depending on where I'm going. But yeah, diesel's still cheaper, thankfully. Obviously things are changing, we're all going greener, but at the moment diesel's still cheap. But like I said, I will stick a photograph here to give you a recent update on that. But that's taken from Camposol petrol station. Number 7 by Stuart Crawford, bringing our hybrid Outlander Mitsubishi with us to Spain. Do you know if we will have to pay road tax there? It's free in the UK. Okay, first thing, Stuart, is the car going to be a left-hand drive? Because I brought my car over, which is obviously a UK right-hand drive car, and I did find it difficult on some of the junctions and whatever, and I thought, well, as I'm living there, I might just go the whole, and I bought a left-hand drive car. But I know you're talking about the hybrid. Now, unfortunately, it's not free here. There is I had to go on the internet again. I don't know anybody that's got that type of car anyway here, and I had a discussion with my wife about this, but you get a reduction up to 75, depending on obviously the make and size of the car. So there is a reduction, but it's not free. So that's something else you're going to have to find out once you arrive here. Now the other thing is, I know yours is a hybrid, so yours takes both, is electricity points. If you've got an electric car, there ain't many places here yet. On some of the big shopping centres, there's a couple electric points. There are cars about. Most people seem to charge their cars obviously at home, but if you obviously gone on a long drive, I haven't seen many around here yet. I know things are changing all the time, but electric plug-in places, so far as I know, unless people know, you know, maybe in Cartagena and Murcia, the big cities, there should be places in car parks, but I haven't seen much around here. So things are changing, but things are changing slowly. So that's giving you some idea, Stuart, other than it's not free. Glenn Roberts, may I ask if the property market, has the property market fully recovered yet? And I would say, Glenn, no. Over the past year, there's been a lot of new building going on. I wouldn't say it's been colossal, and from what I've seen of prices, I don't really check on estate agent prices really, but from what I have seen, prices still seem to be quite stable. Things haven't gone up, put it that way. And obviously the Brexit may change things a bit, I don't know, but I would still say Spain's still quite fragile on the housing market myself personally. I might be totally wrong, but I mean, there's still a lot of property out here you can buy as a bargain. Have to be careful what you're buying, obviously, but check it out before you put your money down. But I wouldn't say it's fully recovered yet, no. I mean, there's a lot of places I've noticed in Benidorm that they had a big tall tower block that they built years ago, and now people seem to be coming in with money I noticed a couple of the golf resorts have been retaken over, hotels have been opened. So things are happening, even on Camposol. The hotel's been taken over, but it hasn't opened yet. So I wouldn't say it's fully recovered yet, no. It's still got a long way to go yet, and obviously, you know what the world's like. So, hope that's answered your question there, Glenn. Number 9, the Fergus Macduff, the Westie. I love that name. And it's a brilliant question in the wind. Sorry about the wind, guys. Right, the bars on the windows, right, they're called reeders. What happens in case of a fire? Do they open from the inside? And I would say no. I suppose, yeah, that's something you've got to think about. But then, you know, it's a bit like double glazing, isn't it? Most houses got double glazing. Okay, so sometimes some windows have got an opening you can get out. No, as far as I know, I haven't seen any of these reeders that open from the inside. They're actually fixed to the wall. Most of them are decorational, especially on Camposol. The Massa reeders have got this like a curl to it. They're quite flimsy, really. If you really pull them, they can come off the wall. A lot of people have re-plugged them in, and a lot of people have changed the reeders on them. But no, and then I think the other thing is, since I've been here, I've been here 4 years. I haven't actually seen a house fire yet. I suppose mainly because obviously the floors are marble and the walls are made of stone and whatever. The only thing that's going to happen either is the oven might catch on fire. And obviously a lot of properties have only got one entrance. They haven't got like a front door and a back door. They usually just got a front door, and that's the way in. So yeah, something to think about, I suppose. I mean, on some of my windows I haven't got reeders, but the other thing is the insurance company are not happy if you have got a property without reeders. They prefer you to have a property with reeders on, with bars on the windows. I mean, it does look a bit prison-like, but you find that in most European countries now, if it's not bars, it's these wooden shutters, and the wind's really picked up now. So I think it's time for me to finish. We got one more for the end of the year, which is December. I'm going to lose my hat in a minute. Hope you enjoyed the Q&A. I always look forward to the questions. If you've got any questions, put them below for the end of the year. I'll try and get it out before Christmas. But as from that, adios amigos. Keep watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.